master version of Watch Yourself. It started off with some amazing breakbeats. Let's kick that over. Hi. I just got all the tracks out of Discord and closed Discord. We're not going to have any stream glitches today, I hope. Gonna turn off my phone because we're doing track feedback to talk about 3 things you got to do in your music, which are sound design, song structure, and mixing. Boink. Randy, DJ Waters coming in there. The 3 things that you have to do in your track are like events, right? So this is stuff that the audience understands. I'm not talking about super technical LFO stuff. Like the audience knows, oh, I just heard a new sound. I like it. It's moving around. It's doing something. It gets my attention. That's for sound design. The audience knows, oh my God, that DJ has the sickest buildups and climaxes. That's your arrangement, your song form, your song structure, your composition, all those things that build the music up to a peak, combines sound design and turns it into moving layers that arrive somewhere at a climax, which we gotta have. And then of course, what's the climax do? It drops the bass, so the mix has to have a tight low end so we can feel that drop hit, because if the drop comes in and we don't feel the kick drum, it's a problem. Ben Hunt, got your tracks. I got everybody's tracks. What just happened? Okay, so I'm not going to review the Mindbender track. I just wanted to let you know it's up there for new releases. Let's jump in. First, we got something from Phil Lewis. And I see a little bit of a glitch already, maybe because I said so. I'm going to start this track, Balance, from Zafa, who's Phil Lewis. And we'll check it out. Bit of a dub jam. Turn up my master send. And let me just check my stream here. Okay. Okay. Paul Robinson, how you doing? Siren's a little loud. This is cool. So it's a dub track. You got the skank, the horns. The horns are kind of dry and up front. I would back the volume down a little bit, get a more reverb, and the delay a little louder relative to the sound of the horns. Maxime, I got your track. I like the spring reverb. The hi-hats, the drums overall could fill up more space in the mix. It feels like it's kind of missing a bubbly layer. Okay, there's a little organ coming in, like the bubble organ. Doot, 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 doot. Yeah, I picked up a lot of production tricks listening to King Tubby and reggae records. And all right, good. The hand drum's coming in here. Fill it out. And I know Phil was asking for some low-end tips. I'm going to turn this up a little bit and EQ a little on the board. So right off the horns feel kind of lonely. They're sort of loud and sort of dry and really up front. So I'm going to EQ that part down a little bit. Pull up the high frequencies to get a little more from the hi-hats and drums. And we've been finding out that SoundCloud is not giving us all the high frequencies, which you kind of knew. So a little high EQ boost helps. And the chords in the middle are good. If you could have those a little louder. And the hand percussion. The effects are sounding good, and the low end is nice because it's nice and clean. There's just that big low bump thing. the hand percussion needs to be louder and have more rich mids. It kind of sounds kind of slappy right now. So with reggae and dub, you know, it's the beat is like a really continuous kind of bubbling thing where there's lots happening. Earthy hand percussion. The drums could be fuller in the sense of more low range, mid range, 200 to 400 hertz. Can be really good with congas and things. So basically, the low end is feeling good. I would leave the bass alone. Try to mix the drums so that the overall drum mix is louder in the track, so louder compared to the sub bass thing, and get some of the hand percussion layers up louder and more of the low frequencies in there if possible, if you have that in the samples. And then bring the horns down, and the horns need a fast delay that's almost the same volume. The horns overall are too loud, but they're not like filling up enough space. So I would back them off a little bit in the volume, get the delay effects around it so it sounds like a big chorus of like wide brass, like double track it, or you know, maybe copy the track 2 times. So you have 3 horns layers, pan them left and right, do slightly different delays on there, and then put that whole group into a reverb. So the horns are like a big, like echoey kind of thing that fills up a lot of the mid-range. And then likewise with the piano and organ thing that was sort of just visiting a little bit, not a lot. Those little skanks, make those a little bit louder too, so that the instrument group of your brass and your organ, guitar, skanks, whatever, are all kind of like the same loudness instead of having the horns like way out front. And then the sound effects are just fun candy on top. The spring reverb is nice, effects are cool. Oh, we're gonna get some effects, some vocals on here? Maybe we are. And who's that? Cho Holstrom? Jesper Tinker Grooves join sometime soon. Yeah. And that right there is good. That crash going into the delay. The vibe of this is cool. The feeling is right. It feels like a real like listenable track. A couple mix notes on it. And you basically avoided the worst problem. Sometimes when people make reggae and dub on electronic equipment, it can sound really clinical and plastic and fake. And that did not happen, so that's good. That was Mindbender. So I'm gonna rip through 2 Ben Hunt tracks. Not rip through, but go through these together. What I'm saying is I grouped our music today, so we're going to do some of this Ben Hunt first, we're going to do some house, deep house, and then some techno at the end. And I got DJ Waters at the moment when we need it. Maxime, yeah, I agree. There's space for piano, vocal, mid-range, lots of space for that. Cool, so version 4 on Some When. We heard this a couple times already, so let me reset my EQs. That's back to flat. Cool, and thanks for hanging out, everybody. Nice to see you here. Saturday is my favorite time of the week for doing track feedback, chilling out, listening to music, and I love seeing people in the comments interacting. Here we go. Synth group sounds really nice. So is this version 4? This could be ready for getting released soon, I hope. Nice build up. You know what? I think the kick drum could be even more aggressive. There's a little EQ on the kick. Yeah, Maxime, some of the arpeggio, the mid-range is really big, basically. So the kick drum is a little, like the whole mid-range is up and the kick drum is down a little bit. In mastering, you could fix that and have the kick really more aggressive. But this feels like a nice synthy. Okay, Ben, I was just rereading your notes about the mid-range synths at the top, 300, 500 on the muddy low part. And let's see what happens with the vocal chops. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. That vocal is much more clear now. Hey, Scott Burke is here. It's a nice spacey jam. The mid-range, the synths, the world that the sound is in is feeling like nice and open and like complete. So I think a little more kick drum coming in. Let's hear how we get to the drop and then see what the vocal chops are doing. Yeah, I agree that 3,000 to 4,000 hertz notch is a really good idea. Yeah. If I go on the mixing board and just put the bass EQ up a little bit and get that real like coming at you kind of kick drum, I think that'll be good. So maybe do one more mix with a little more kick. Possibly take your instrument group and take a little bit out of the low mids to make the kick feel like bigger. Yeah, the vocal definitely sits better now. Let me skip forward a little bit. Now here that kick drum sounds okay. You can feel that it's a nice, the kick itself is a good sounding drum. So I think you just need to literally put it up a little bit louder in the mix. And that'll be cool. Sorry for my abrupt cutoff. Ben, nice progress. I really like how you're collecting tips, making edits, making notes on the small details you're editing, and making the updates. So Pharisees, this is a new track that I didn't even listen to yet. Let's see, EQ flat and see what we get. That's why I was kind of rushing the last one because I wanted to do this one. Here's me, master volume up. You can totally see those mid-range synths. Look at that. Man, you and Kimono Breeze are rocking the 80s kind of synthwave vibe. I like that kind of flangery, shaky thing. That was a good sound. Sort of the same situation with your kick drum here. I'm going to put up the low EQ a little bit right now. So can you tell us again what's your monitoring system or setup like? Because if we hear two tracks from the same person and the kick drum is both a little bit low in the same way, it might be something with the way you're listening with your speakers or something. You might have to make a mental note, okay, I gotta put my kick drum up louder than it sounds good to me, because then in the mix it's gonna sound better for balanced listening. I like the slow melody. Interesting sounds. And it's really good. Look at the bass line notes. The lowest bass line is like 110, that note A. And the kick drum is all the way down there in the 50s. So that's really good separation where the kick is on the bottom, the bass line has the low mid section by itself. That makes it easy to define the two of them, mix them together. And we don't have that thing like before with that sub dive bomb going on top of the kick drum and getting all muddied up on the bottom. So I like how you chose your bass line notes and sound and kick drum sounds. Yeah, this almost That's a cool filter. It's like that vocal formant. Wow, wow. Let me sweep the mid-range a little bit. I'm going to EQ the mids a little bit. Bow, bow. Okay, that seems to be back on. What I just started doing was trying to identify the bass notes on the spectrum analyzer and then feel what the melody was doing. It does seem like the melody has a little bit of a clash with like a half note off from the bass line. It's like down, down, down. So the fourth note of the bass line, let's listen to that and catch the melody notes and see what those are doing. Okay, computer. Yeah. Yeah. Something seems to have kind of locked up a little bit. Let's watch Steve roast while SoundCloud does nothing. Had a little glitch and I just, okay, restarted stream. SoundCloud appears to be playing. Might be new computer time for Steve, I don't know. Yeah, that's going out the right output. Firefox freeze up? Y'all, let me do a quick little test here. Yeah. Jesus. Okay. Spectrum. I don't know, it might be new computer time for Steve because this is like doing stuff I never did before. All right. Playing nice. Once again, let's listen to the bass line, the four notes of the bass line. The fourth note seems to be a little bit like flat or something, or maybe the melody is a little out of tune with that note, because that's an important harmonic thing to get right. Oh, Ian, thank you. I'm using Restream, so if they're having server issues, that might explain why my streams are freaking crashing, because it is giving me a problem between my streaming software and the Restream input collector. So, internet, get your octopus brain working. Ben, you know what I'm thinking is that bass line doesn't have a harmonic resolution just by itself, the four notes. Down, bow, bow, now, 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 now. It's a little bit like a four-chord punk rock song. But you might want to change the bass line notes. What's the first sound we hear? Okay, so harmonically our ears are going to be centered on that note. Where does the bass line come in? So it ends on the same note it starts with? I'm having a hard time putting my finger on what it is about that. Okay, I'm gonna give you an assignment because I can't quite undo all this. The first question is, does the bass line just have one basic harmony in the notes? Because sometimes you have like a synth that's got a lot of harmonics in it. So when you play one note on the keyboard, you get more than one, you almost get a chord. So I'm curious if the bass line has something like that happening in it. And then when you're playing the other synth parts, are those coming from a chord pattern or random ideas just from what it sounds like? Because we're sort of harmonically drifting and I'm not really able to lock into what the key is. Yeah, the bass resolves every second and 4 bars. Yeah, we might have to go direct to YouTube. Something went wrong. And SoundCloud crashed. Let's see if we can play Maxime's track. It might be time to ditch Restream. Nope, that's gone. All right, Maxime, let me know if your track is coming through because I'm playing it on my side. Okay, SoundCloud just decided to stop itself. Never seen that before. What the heck? Yeah. Check this out. I'm pressing play. It starts and fades itself out and stops. We might not have more track feedback today. I'm really sorry, everybody. I'm not sure what is happening. This has never happened before in this special little way. I gotta pay you for the feedback. Let's try to reset that. We're not running particularly hot. Okay, EQs are back to flat. All right, this is crazy. SoundCloud is literally starting to play, then fading. Pause because you started playing on another device. Let's see if SoundCloud is. I don't have. Now I'm checking to see if SoundCloud is open on my phone because I've never seen that become a block, but close all. Power off. Maybe it's seeing 2 devices because of restarting the stream. But that window is not doing anything. Wow, how special.